Okay, it looks like we are live. We will wait for a few people to join us here. And if you could, in the chat, let me know to make sure you can hear me. All right, welcome guys. Please read the description on the video for how this works. So how this works, I'll explain it here as well, is we have so much rocket fuel on our rocket ship, and our rocket fuel is ADA. So native tokens, native assets on Cardano are a few weeks old now, but they're working well. They require rocket fuel in order to move around the network. That is until we get future features like Babel fees and other stuff. So what I do is I send out 2 ADA along with any amount of Spacecoins to people. So today we're going to be giving out batches of 1,000 Spacecoins to everybody until we run out of Spacecoins to drop. So I've got 100,000 Spacecoins to drop, so that means 100 people are going to get Spacecoins today. Yeah, I've already shared the link on Twitter, so if you want to go there and retweet it, let me post my Twitter in the chat. If you don't follow me on Twitter, go ahead and do that and retweet that link so that we can get some more people Spacecoins here. But when you also get a chance, go ahead and drop your receiving address for your Cardano wallet, either from Daedalus or Yoroi. On Daedalus, if you have the mainnet version, you won't be able to see them. If you have the Daedalus Flight version, you'll be able to see the received Spacecoins. And then once you receive those Spacecoins, there's a link in the video description. Let me go ahead and grab that. It's right here. And I will post that in the chat as well for where to send back your 2.2 ADA so that we can keep the rocket ship going. We only have enough fuel for probably half the amount of tokens I want to send out, so hopefully you guys keep me fueled. So we'll say rocket fuel address. And we will post that here. So whenever you get a chance, go ahead and drop your address, your receiving address in the chat, and we will start loading up rockets with payload here. So Spacecoins they don't have any real value. They're just a meme coin. They were started by Kyle Solomon from Frogpool. And the idea is they're supposed to be a teaching tool so for people to learn about ADA. And eventually we're going to create a faucet or kind of a website that you'll go through, learn how to buy ADA, create a wallet, learn about maybe Daedalus or Yoroi, learn how to stake to a stake pool, and then at the end of that process, if you put in a valid receiving address and that website detects that you are, correctly staked to a stake pool, then you will get airdrops some Spacecoins. So that will be coming maybe in a month or so. But until then, we're going to do these airdrops on YouTube to try and spread the Spacecoin love far and wide. So far I am not seeing any addresses in the chat. So go ahead and drop those in the chat so that I can send out the Spacecoins. Everything looks like we're streaming okay here. All right, thank you for the moral support. That's much appreciated. Let's see how we're doing on Twitter. Do you have any No activity on this tweet so far. Yeah, let's get this tweet shared out if we can. Because sometimes it takes a little while for the Spacecoin rocket ship to get going. Yep, go ahead and drop those addresses in the chat as soon as you get your wallets up. I know it takes a while to get your wallet up and synced, and what we need is a receive address. Once you have a receive address, I can send you Spacecoins. We will just be patient here for a while. Just hang out at Mission Control here a while. So this is JorManager, what you're looking at, and this is a project I've worked on all the way back in the ITN. And at that time, the purpose was a little bit different. So back then, the purpose was just to keep the nodes alive. The quality of the nodes was not quite as high, and they would die all the time. And so at that time, it was used to continually spin up new nodes, check the health of the nodes, and then figure out which one was the healthiest and switch to that node during block minting. Yeah, Gary, if you don't have dataless flight, you can still give me an address from your regular dataless, and then once you do get flight installed, you'll see the Spacecoins. But you can still receive them even if you have an old or the current mainnet version of dataless. That's fine. So go ahead and just open your regular dataless just to get the coins, and then you can do the flight stuff later. Adrian, I see your address. We'll get going in just a minute. We want to have about 5 people on every rocket we send off, so I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, so JorManager was used just to keep the nodes alive, switch to the healthiest node so that your blocks would mint correctly. Then once we switched to mainnet, it became more of a stake pool management system. And so it has all kinds of information about running your nodes. So I can switch over to the dashboard here, see where we are in the epoch, see our block height ticking up, make sure that my KES keys are properly rotated. I've got 72 days left on them, make sure I've got valid incoming and outgoing peers, and make sure my nodes are seeing transactions. So this screen is one of the main ones I look at most of the time. Then hosts and nodes, I won't show those screens, but those are like making sure that my host is like the actual servers you're running on, nodes is how many nodes you've spun up, and then blocks is your upcoming block log. And I won't show you that. Actually, I can show you that if I switch over to a test network. So this is a test network where we're seeing some of the blocks come in. We can do well. Let's look at the actual test net. So this is what blocks looks like on the test net. You can see I run a pool called Profit here, and it's just creating blocks happily. No orphans so far, it looks like. And then there's the wallet tab as well, where I've got all the fake ADA, and you see I've got a bunch of crazy stupid coins trying to break things here. But yeah, let's go back and do some Spacecoins now. Let me stop screen capture for 1 minute. Let's go to the rocket ship. back to mission control. Okay, so it looks like we've got a couple addresses. Let's start getting those loaded up. Let's get Adrian in here. Get some space coins to his address. And we will send 1,000 space coins to him. And then let's add another entry. So JorManager is nice because it can do one-to-many transactions. So I can load up, I think I've tested up to 10 on this, but it has to validate a lot of stuff with the transaction, so it starts to bog down after 5. So we're going to be doing payloads of 5 people at a time. So let's get Ram on board here. Let's get his address loaded up. So we got him. Now let's go ahead and send out these first 2 since we've got them ready to go. And let's go back to mission or the rocket ship. So your view from the cockpit while I enter the launch codes. And we have successfully launched. We have a transaction that is away and flying. So we'll just wait until we see our ADA tick down and our space coins tick down. So those will go in the next block. So what happened is I've submitted that transaction to the network, and that transaction has flowed throughout all the nodes on the network, and now it's just being waited to be loaded into a block. So whoever makes the next block will see that transaction, and then it'll be applied to the ledger. So it just got applied to the ledger, and we are down about 4.2 space coins now. So we need you guys to send back those transaction dusts now that you've gotten them to that address we have in the video description. So send me back 2.2 ADA to refuel the rocket with the ADA I sent you, plus a little bit extra, that 0.2, so that I have my transaction fees back and we can keep this thing flying. You also might notice our little JorManager icon or our logo that I've put up here in the corner. That's not part of the interface, but my daughter created that. It went on I think a birthday card for me, or a Christmas card. I don't remember. She likes to make custom cards for the family, and she made a JorManager. So JorManager comes from JorManager, which was the name of the node back in the incentivized testnet days. And JorManager is the giant snake from the Norse mythology and enemy of Thor that's supposed to eat the world. And then managers because it managed the JorManager node. So I just kind of combined the words, and she made a little snake with a briefcase, so it's a bad comb over. So it's JorManager. Yep, go ahead and keep dropping those addresses in the chat as you get to it. Let's go over and check on our tweet, how it's doing. Thank you, Mohammed. Welcome back. I think we gave you some last time, but since you're here, we're going to give you more. You're going to become a Spacecoin whale. So it looks like we got some retweets, we've got a quote tweet, and we've got 9 likes. So you guys are doing a good job on getting this tweet out there. Go ahead and drop your receive address from your Daedalus, Yoroi, or whatever wallet into the chat, and I will try to get you guys on the next rocket ship. Okay, Grace, I see yours as well. Let's go ahead and get those loaded up here. We'll get them started. Hopefully we get a fully loaded rocket this next time. So we're sending space coins, and let's get Mohammed first. Let's get him 1,000 space coins in his payload. Add another entry for Grace. Alright, we're starting to get them coming in now. This is good. Space coins to Grace. rocket payload of 1,000. Looks like we've got Marmel. Let's get you on this rocket too. It's nice that we're able to send them all out together. And if you are a stake pool operator, you can use JorManager for free. That's kind of one of the things I do as part of running my stake pool. I don't do a whole lot of traditional marketing, so I provide tools for other stake pool operators. Yeah, this is a custom wallet. So this tool is provided to other stake pool operators to help run their stake pools. And like I said, I don't do a lot of marketing myself, but I figure if other stake pool operators are using my tools and giving me shout outs, that's kind of the only marketing I need for my pool. I don't have to do a lot of, tweeting or anything like that. So this is one of the tools I provide. Let's go ahead and get Bash TS on this rocket here as well. But yeah, if you are a stake pool operator, you can use this tool for free. And if you're already using something else like CN Tools, it can run alongside of it, and you can use just the wallet, just the leader logs out of this tool if you want. There's nothing that says you can't use this tool along with others, and it's really nice. It's a web interface. You can see all of your dashboard, you can see your leader logs, you can see if you've missed a block, you can see if a block's been orphaned. Okay, we need one more person on this rocket and then we'll be ready to send. Yep, looks like V is getting ready. Thank you, Ram, for sending that ADA back. We should see it show up here at the top very soon once your transaction goes into a block. So that's cool. Okay, we've got Gary. All right. Gary will be the last person on this particular rocket. So let's add him in, number 5 on the Spacecoin rocket. Here we go. And 1,000 Spacecoin to him, and you can see it's just starting to lag. That's the perfect time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the rocket, and let's go. It's asking me for launch code, so I will switch over to the cockpit while I enter the launch codes. Confirmed for launch. Back at Mission Control, that was a successful launch. And we do now see the dust that came back from Ram. Thank you, Ram. You are help keeping the rocket fueled. Thank you guys for being active in the chat. And it looks like we are down to only 37 fuel right now. Okay, and we do have an address from V. Let's get you loaded up on the next rocket. So you will be our first Spacecoin Anat on the next rocket. So there we go. The other nice feature of this JorManager is you can specify amounts or you can specify percent. So if you wanted to just drag a slider, that's kind of nice to do too. That's more useful, if you want to send 100% from one account to another. So that's even a feature that like Daedalus doesn't have. I think Yoroi can do a send everything, but Daedalus still hasn't added that feature after all these years. Thank you, V, for sending that 3 ADA back. Wow, thank you. That'll help keep us fueled. We'll just hang out here on the launch pad for a while. If anybody else wants Spacecoins, go ahead and drop that receive address in the chat. Yep, awesome, Gary. Glad you see that. Yeah, you should see a transaction with just the 2 ADA, even though you won't see the Spacecoin. So that does mean that you have received it. Yeah, so if you hold ADA on Binance, there's no guarantee that you can get Spacecoins. If you want a quick way to receive the Spacecoins, just go and get the Yoroi wallet. That'll be the quickest. And just fire up a new wallet, write down your mnemonic phrase, and you can receive the Spacecoins there. So Yoroi is a light wallet, so it does not take as long to sync. So you can more quickly get up to speed with Yoroi. And it's best not to hold your ADA in Binance, because you won't be able to stake the stake pools as easily, and Binance takes a chunk of all of your rewards when you stake at Binance. And you're also locking your funds. If you download your funds and extract them from Binance, that's the best way to hold your ADA. It's the most secure, and you also get the rewards on every 5 days. Okay, looks like we've got a few more people to add on this rocket. Let's get John on this rocket here. Let's get his address loaded up. Get 1,000 Spacecoins going to him. Looks like we've got S. Let's get 1,000 Spacecoins going to him or her. And we have the phaser. Let's get 1,000 Spacecoins going that direction. And it looks like we've got Igor is going to be the last one on this particular rocket. Let's get some going to Igor. And 1,000 Spacecoins here. And we are go for launch. There is the launch code. Let's switch over to the cockpit view while I enter the launch codes. And it looks like we failed to launch. Let's wait a second. We're getting some interference with our launch here, so let's try this again. And we launched successfully. That one took a little while. We had to wait for a new block to arrive. You guys are doing a pretty decent job of keeping me fueled with the Spacecoins. I see some more addresses in the chat. So thank you, Kyle, for hanging out here a little bit. I know you've got some SPACRA meeting stuff, but if you want to answer any questions in the chat, that would be helpful as well. Let's get another rocket starting to be loaded here with Spacecoin payload. Okay. And this one is going out to Miroslav. I hope I said that correctly. As a dumb American, my tongue doesn't always work that well for some of your names. But I will do my best. And let's get some going out to Danny here. So Danny is on the rocket. And he has 1,000 Spacecoins. Thank you, John, for sending that dust back within an hour. Okay, let's get an interesting person on this rocket. The angel with the key to the abyss. Let's get that angel on this rocket as well. Okay, and looks like we got Will. I think, Will, you are a blue cheese delegator. Thank you for delegating. Okay, let's get Will on the rocket here. And we've got 4 people on the rocket. Yeah, I don't know enough about the SolarWinds and Microsoft hack. I think the Microsoft one was an Exchange server hack. I don't think blockchain can really solve that one. Yeah, that's just a regular type of bug. Yeah, blockchain doesn't really solve the hacking problems, but Cardano, with its formal methods and way it develops things, it's much less likely to be hacked than other blockchains like Ethereum, where you have to put your you have to create tokens by having a smart contract. And so that smart contract can then potentially be hacked, or there's front-running attacks and other things. Let's get Anthony on this rocket here, last one on the rocket. Whereas with Cardano, the native assets are native to the ledger, so they don't require a smart contract in order to have them. So we don't have smart contracts yet on Cardano. That's coming with the next Alonzo hard fork, which will be the final release of the Goguen roadmap. So there were 3 hard forks as part of Goguen, and this Alonzo one is the final one. We had the Mary one, we had one before Mary, and then we will have Alonzo. Okay, so we've got 5 people on this rocket. We have plenty of fuel so far. Let us pull up the launch codes. Do the cockpit view here while I put in the launch codes. And let's see if this one goes away. Yes, successful launch. Up here in the corner we have a transaction. So go ahead and send me that dust back. And any dust we get above and beyond the 50 we started with, we will donate to a worthy cause, probably Save the Children in Africa. So if you do decide to send me back some dust on that address and decide to send a little extra, that will go towards Save the Children. Yep, as you send it back, it helps me keep sending. And we have partnered with GrowPool because they already have, they're a charitable pool, and they partner with Save the Children in Africa, and they post all of their giving receipts on the blockchain, so you can verify that they're a legit pool and they are sending stuff to Save the Children in Africa. So if we have anything above and beyond 50 for rocket fuel, that will go to Save the Children and GrowPool. Yeah, so explaining dust or sending back. So whenever you send Spacecoins, Spacecoins themselves are worthless. And so if we allowed people to send native tokens on Cardano without paying for them, somebody could create an attack and just spam the blockchain with garbage tokens. So in order to move Spacecoins around the blockchain, I have to have 2 ADA that goes with it. So I send you 2 ADA plus Spacecoins, plus I spend the transaction fee. So once you receive the Spacecoins, by turning around and sending me back 2 ADA plus a little bit for that transaction fee, it allows me to keep sending them out. So it's kind of a way of protecting the network from garbage tokens that, you know, any old attacker would want to hurt the network could create. So that's why it costs 2 ADA to send the space tokens. It's actually, you know, like for this particular token, I think it's like 1.48 or whatever. But in JorManager, I just round things up to 2 to make things simple. Yes, so it is totally a security measure right now to protect the network from, it's actually called a resource attack. So they could completely spam the blockchain with, foo tokens or, something they called shitcoin or whatever, and just completely spam it. And then all the nodes would have to deal with moving all of these tokens around, and it would fill up everybody's hard drive space that was holding the blockchain, so your dataless wallet would grow on disk space, and they could just completely trash it. But because they have to send that to ADA, they would run out of money very quickly, and so their attack would not work. So what you guys are doing is you're actually saying, no, this is a legitimate transaction. So it's kind of a nice thing to do whenever you get a legitimate native asset token transaction, to go ahead and send that dust back to the person that sent you the tokens in the first place. And that helps the network know that, oh yeah, that was a legitimate transaction. So dust buildup does add lag to the network, Gary's question there. But every time I send tokens out, JorManager is collecting all that dust, packaging it into one transaction, and it's actually defragmenting my payment wallet here. So JorManager and other tools like Daedalus, they tend to collect that automatically and kind of defragment the network as you go. It makes the transaction fee ever so slightly higher when I send out again. But yeah, as you send Spacecoins around, it's not really adding a whole lot of load to the network. The network is designed for a ton of load. Yep, let's get some more addresses in the chat there. Maybe it'll be useful beyond education. It's really up to the community what they do with Spacecoins. So because they exist, because there is, I think there's a total of 50 million in circulation. I don't think there's any plan to make any more, so they are kind of limited in supply. Maybe somebody will convince an exchange to list them, and then they'd have real value. There's nothing stopping anybody from taking Spacecoins and adding more utility to them. So maybe creating a video game where you earn Spacecoins, or maybe Spacecoins are the in-game currency or something. There's nothing really stopping anybody from doing something with them beyond just education. But Kyle and the other teams he's worked with to get these created have just kind of decided, well, as an educational piece, that's kind of a good thing to do. So let's go ahead and get another rocket fueled here. We have Gary, another Gary, and let's get him on this Spacecoin rocket here. Get 1,000 Spacecoins going to him. And so we've almost given away Spacecoins to 20 people. Yeah, you can use Spacecoins for anybody that has an ADA wallet if you want to use them just as like a cool tip to say, hey, I like your content on YouTube, give me an address, I'll send you some Spacecoins. You can do that. Yeah, so it's important if other people say, oh, what is this Spacecoin thing? They don't know about it. You can use this to further the teaching opportunities. So you can send friends or anybody that's asking about them, you can send them Spacecoins if you have Daedalus Flight or Yoroi. I think maybe Ada Lite is capable of sending as well. Yep, so voting on the logo is happening now. Kyle has somebody else that's kind of running the logo show. Lee Kirby, let's get you on this Spacecoin rocket here. Get 1,000 Spacecoins heading to Lee's way. Durrani, let's get Durrani on this rocket as well. That's good, we're getting some addresses coming in. Okay, Durrani. Okay. Lee, yeah, I already got your address in there. Yeah, the logos are looking really sick. Sick in a good way. Some of them are just crazy awesome. Some of them are crazy funny. No, I've kind of barely been following the logo contest. Okay, that looks like an old address, like either from Binance or something. I can send to it, but there's no guarantee that that's going to show up. I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I can't really send to that address because you're not going to be able to see the Spacecoins anyway. If you want to, go ahead and download Yoroi and create a brand new wallet, and even if it's empty, I can still send you some Spacecoins. You won't be able to send me the dust back, but because you need a little more than 2 ADA in the new wallet to send the dust back. But yeah, go ahead and get Yoroi and then post me a better address. So this anything that's a new address that starts with ADDR1 is a valid address to receive the Spacecoins. I mean, I can technically send to that address, but there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to send them in any type of wallet. You won't be able to receive them or see them in those wallets. So yeah, get on Adalite maybe, or get on Yoroi, and that's kind of a better wallet experience than any of the exchange wallets anyway, and you'll have more control over your funds if you get your money out of the exchanges. So the exchanges, yeah, so if you're using Yoroi and you see a 2 ADA transaction, that is your coins arriving, and you should be able to see them in Yoroi as well. The address to send the dust back to is in the video description down below, so if you look at there, you can get the address. Yep, just post your address in the chat here, and we will get Spacecoins sent out. We currently have 3 people on this rocket right now, and we're waiting for 2 more before we fire them out. Yep, go ahead and look in the video description for that address to send the dust back to. And again, if you send dust back to that address beyond the 2.2 ADA, then that will hopefully go to a donation to Save the Children. Okay, it looks like I got an address from Swoops here. Let us get you on this Spacecoin rocket. Okay, you are on the payload. We're looking for 1 more. And it looks like we're going to go below 80,000 Spacecoins. Yep, we try to teach about Spacecoins as we're doing these things. Okay, it looks like we've got an address from R, and let's get you on the Spacecoin rocket here. And while we've got the address, let's go ahead and add a 6th person. Let's get Justin on this one. Justin Marsh. And JorManager is starting to lag a little bit because it has to calculate all of these fees and everything. And let's get this rocket ready to go. Cockpit view. Launch code is entered. And we are off and running. Transaction successful. And then once you receive that, make sure to send us back the dust because we are running low on fuel. We're down to only 24. And we have way more space coins to give away than our rocket fuel allows. So we need to get that rocket fueled up. Thank you, Durrani, for sending that dust back. We should see this 24 number tick up here very soon. We'll look for some of those refueling events to come back. And on Cardano, a block is created approximately every 24 seconds. Hey, Duck. Welcome to the chat. So every 24 seconds, a block and all those transactions get added to the ledger. And so we usually have to wait about that amount of time. And transactions can only be so big in size right now, but the nice thing is like with Bitcoin or other blockchains, it's really hard to do things to change the protocol. So like there was an argument in Bitcoin and it ended up creating a hard fork and split it into two. It split it into Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin because they couldn't agree on something as simple as, you know, how big a block would be on their blockchain. Some people wanted to keep it a certain size and other people wanted big blocks so they could do more blocks or more transactions in every block. On Bitcoin, transactions are slow. So transactions only arrive there about once every 10 minutes. On Cardano, we're getting new blocks every 20 seconds approximately, and we can pack a whole lot of transactions into one block. And we can also change things. So we could change that just with a protocol parameter to say, hey, we want to do blocks every 5 seconds, or we want to make the block size a whole lot bigger so we can pack more in every block. And that is planned to be, right now IOG controls all those parameters, but in the future those will be part of the Voltaire voting system. So we'll have kind of people who hold data will be able to vote and then or be able to vote for particular stakeholders that they know are really smart and understand the blockchain, and then those people will be able to vote on final approval of parameter changes to the blockchain. So we can continually evolve Cardano without ever dealing with splits. And that's really, you know, where you kind of lose your value is if people from the outside see your chain splitting all the time and there's no good governance. Governance is really one of the hardest challenges to solve in blockchain technology, and nobody has really solved it well yet. And I think that Cardano has one of the best chances to solve it properly because it's been thought about since the very beginning. Okay, it looks like we've got some addresses. Let's get another rocket fired up here. So we've got Hakeem. Let's get you some space coins. Okay, so Hakeem is on the rocket. Let's get A on the rocket here. Let's get Daniel Davis on the rocket. Let's get, I don't know how to say your name, Grammy. Let's get you on the rocket. Okay, and let's get Robert on the rocket here. Okay, and that's 5 people on our rocket so far. Let's go ahead and get you guys flying. We're going to be down very low on rocket fuel after this. Let's go ahead and enter our launch codes. And the rocket is flying. We've got a successful transaction. So we're going to be down to about 14 rocket fuel. We need you guys to send back that dust to keep us fueled. Oh, there we go. We got some. Somebody decided to be funny and send me back some other coins. So now we've got some jackpot coins. Thank you for that. Very nice. Okay, looks like we should have, oh, yep, I see all that dust ticking in. We got up another 2.2 there, that's good. Let's wait for a little bit more dust here to come in, and then we'll get the next rocket on the pad and ready to go. We'll just hang out at mission control here for a little bit. Yeah, I do have, let's do one transaction here, so to clean things up. So I'm going to send I have a wallet here that is, I'm going to copy an address. Let's do send jackpot coins to this address, and we'll send all of those over to this other address just to get them off of our screen. Otherwise I'll have everybody asking me for those. I don't know who sent them, but we'll just clean things up here. And those should go away once our transaction gets applied to a block. Ah, somebody sent me another coin. Yeah, I don't have any. I've got some love tokens that Papa Cart from Love Pool sent me. Let's go ahead and get some more space coins flying here. And I don't think I have any other coins other than that. Well, I have ACA and I have jackpot coin now. I usually don't send out any other coins. I just put them on a kind of a dumping ground wallet because most of them are not really worth anything. Okay, let's Revenuri. Let's get you on this rocket with 1,000 space coins. MCN, BNS, you're going to get on this rocket as well with some space coins. There is no way currently for a regular user to make it a token. It has to be done on the command line, and so usually you have to run a node, like at least a relay node, like a stake pool operator. I'm guessing somebody at some point will make an easy website to make your own token. But right now it's not easy to make a token. I'm sure there will be a way for people to make a token for NFTs. I'm sure there will be some NFT token websites popping up where you can, take your digital art and sell it on their website, and they will put that token on the blockchain for you, and then you could sell your NFT. I'm sure those type of sites are coming to Cardano. It's just a matter of weeks or even months. Okay, looks like we've got Eric. Let's get you on this rocket as well. Spacecoins. And let's get that guy 411 on this rocket as well. Don't be that guy. Or in this case, be that guy, because you're going on the rocket. Okay, we've got room for one more on this rocket. It says error, try again later. I'm not sure what the question was. Maybe somebody else who's following the chat can answer the phasers question. Yeah, so ADA works. ADA is the security mechanism for the whole protocol. And if somebody were to be able to, it's proof of stake. So the amount of stake you have means that you're allowed to make the blocks on the blockchain. So people delegating to pools, that gives that pool more power on the network. And maybe that pool will be a good actor, maybe that pool will be a bad actor. So by having ADA be kind of the currency we use to give power on the network, that ensures that the good actors win and they can't do things like double spending transactions or wiping out a bunch of transactions if they were being a bad actor. So ADA is kind of the lube and the grease and the fuel that everything happens with, and that in and of itself protects the network. So if you delegate your stake to a particular community stake pool that you know is a good actor in the space, that helps Cardano as a whole be more secure, and it raises the bar for how much money an attacker would have to attack the network. So right now I think the number is very secure. An attacker would have to have in the order of billions of dollars to be able to successfully attack the Cardano network. So just the fact of Cardano rising to around $1 significantly raises how secure the whole proof of stake protocol is. Thank you for that. I'm the Leonardo DiCaprio of Cardano, I guess. Okay, 77.7 Comics. You will be the last person on this particular ship. And it looks like we have enough rocket fuel to send out. And let me add one more thing. Let's go back to mission control for a minute. Let me check on one thing here. Let us send we're going to go ahead and send these ACA tokens to a different address just to clean them up as well. So we now have a fully loaded rocket. Let's go to the cockpit, enter our launch codes. And we have successful transaction. Awesome. So that rocket is flying. You guys are doing a good job of sending the dust back. Much appreciated. Okay, so you have this Robert saying, I have one token with this asset name. How do you know it's Spacecoin? So eventually there will be a token registry, and Daedalus will be able to look at that token registry, and Kyle from Frogpool will validate that that asset name is in fact Spacecoins. Now this particular name, if we it looks like this is just the hex encoding of it. So let's copy that, and let's go over here and look. Let's find a decoder that we can insert our text, convert it, and you see that that text converts into Spacecoins, so you know it is Spacecoins. Not everything will have this nice conversion, but it's just because we said the name when Kyle created the token, it was Spacecoins. So if you see this in your wallet, that means it's Spacecoins. And eventually it'll have a prettier interface and a nice icon with it in the wallets. Yeah, if you don't see the Spacecoin in your Daedalus, you may need to upgrade to Daedalus Flight before you can see it. Yeah, it's definitely in your Daedalus wallet, Gary, because I did see it. Okay, let's get a few more people going on a rocket. Somebody keeps sending me these ACA tokens. Okay, so yeah, I thought that transaction was successful, but we haven't seen it yet go through. Okay, let's go ahead and get some more going here. Start firing up another rocket. Let's get Alex on this rocket here. Alex Massa. And let's get Alvaro on this rocket. And let's get Cardano, Crypto, and more on this rocket here. Let's get Flavia. Let's get you on this rocket here. And let's get thank you guys for returning all the rocket fuel. Much appreciated. Okay, so we've got 4 people on this rocket so far. And let's go ahead and get this one going. Enter the launch codes. Transaction succeeded. wait for this transaction to go through. I do not know why these ACA tokens are not moving, but I'm going to try and move them again. Just bear with me. There we go. Looks like we are low on rocket fuel. So we're down to 17 here. So we definitely need you guys to send some of those funds back before we can send out more rocket ships. We'll go ahead and start one getting loaded. We'll assume some of that dust will come back. Look in the video description for the address to send to. We'll go ahead and get cast DOT live. Some Spacecoins. Looks like somebody is a Polkadot fan. Polkadot is another one of those cool up and coming blockchains. Founded by another one of those Ethereum founders as well. Slightly different mission and vision than Cardano, but still they've got a neat blockchain themselves. I am not into Polkadot myself, but I've done a little bit of reading on it. Okay, let's get Nishat on this rocket. Get some Spacecoins flowing that way. Let's get the crazy KP on this rocket. Okay. The phaser, I think we've already sent you some. We're going to skip you. Diedrich, let's get you on this rocket. I apologize if I'm butchering your name. Looks like we're going to go below 60,000 Spacecoins here. That is good. Thank you for sending the dust back, Flavia. Much appreciated. Okay. Let's go ahead and fire this rocket. This will get us below 60 with 4 people in the payload. Enter the launch codes. And we are successful. Oh, thank you guys for sending the dust. I just saw the rocket fuel jumping amount there. That's good. You guys are more than welcome for the Spacecoins. All it cost me is time, and it's very useful for spending a little bit of time educating you, and it kind of gets me out of my comfort zone of just writing code all the time and interacting with the community a little bit. I don't typically do a lot of YouTube stuff or marketing stuff. My marketing is mostly just creating tools for other stake pool operators to use, and then, you know, I tweeted out that, hey, there's a new version of JorManager out. You guys can grab it and use it, and the other stake pool operators use my tools, you know, for getting their leader logs. They use my tools for managing their pools, and then people kind of see me as, you know, more of a leader, and they want to support the work I'm doing, so they support my pools. That's kind of the way I market myself and my pools. And it kind of plays to my strengths. I get to sit and write code all the time, and I don't have to do a lot of the being out there and all the time with the marketing stuff. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Yep. Thank you, Duck, for encouraging people to send the dust fuel back. Alvaro asked, what code do you write? So I write the code for JorManager. That is written in Kotlin. It's a new-ish language. It runs on the Java virtual machine. Let's see if I can show you some of that real quick. So, I don't know if you can, oh, that's not the right window. Let's show you what that looks like. So here's some JorManager code. Let me make sure I'm sharing what, but this is all open source. I put it out there. This project is on Bitbucket. And this is the block monitor for JorManager. So it can do things like waiting for new blocks to arrive, validating all the blocks as they arrive, seeing if I'm the one that minted them, you know, seeing if a block was orphaned, seeing if it was correctly forged, seeing if it was missed. So there's a ton of work and a ton of code that goes on behind the scenes to make all these things work. So this is kind of my wheelhouse. I've been a developer in the software industry since 1999. So this is all really within my wheelhouse type of stuff. I also write a tool called CNCLI. And CNCLI is written in a newer language called Rust. This is a very new language. I think it was created in 2010. Was the first release of it. And this is a low-level command line interface for stake pool operators to use to get their leader log. So if they don't want to use a full-blown JorManager interface, you know, like they already have something to manage their pool that they're using a different tool, or they don't want the weight of using a GUI, they use CNCLI to do their leader logs. So leader logs is something that, because of the ship date of Shelley, IOG decided they were going to not give the stake pool operators any way to know what blocks they had coming up. And so I kind of took it on myself to figure out a way and reverse engineer the Haskell code. And then I came in here, built this in JorManager first, and then I built the Rust version. And so it allows you to do all of the crazy math to figure out when your pool is going to be making the blocks next. And that's all in this leader log file here. And it does some crazy cool math, the same that the Haskell node does. It detects, you know, like, is the slot owned by the BFT nodes until D0, you know, so that can't be our slot. And then it does all kinds of calculations on the slot to see whether your node is allowed to make a block in that slot. Anyway, let's get back to Spacecoins. Enough about this other stuff. Let's find, here we go. So let's see if we have any more addresses. That looks like the address to return rocket fuel to. Yeah, this address here on the screen, that's the one to return the rocket fuel to. So if it starts with that VYCXP, that is the correct one. The phaser looks like you keep trying to get more space coins, but we want these to be for everybody. We want them to spread far and wide. So I'm not going to send you more in this particular live stream. Maybe I'll do one next week. We'll get you some more. Looks like we are down to 19 rocket fuel. We need some more of you to send back the dust. I would say yes, you can consider space coins kind of like an NFT. They are kind of collectible, I guess. They seem to be highly desirable, at least on Twitter. I don't really desire to have them. I think they're better as a teaching tool, so I try to spread them far and wide. Oh, you accidentally sent too many. Oh, too many ADA. Okay, so how many ADA did you send me, Phaser, and I'll send you some space coins back. Yeah, dust plus 2 ADA is correct. What you should be sending, because I sent you 2 ADA plus a transaction fee dust. So I sent you approximately 2.2 ADA. But I'll go ahead and I'll get you on the next ship here. We'll go ahead and give you another 1,000 just because of that. There. So that should. So you sent 4.28. Okay. Well, we'll get you squared away here then. Not a problem. So you are on this next rocket ship. So I'm going to go ahead and post the receiving address. I will repost for the dust. So I posted that. Save it off here for myself. Actually, that's not correct. Yeah, that may not be. Let me remove that message. Yep, that is correct. Okay. Okay, we need some more people to get on this rocket ship. Go ahead and send me your addresses. Ragu, let's get you on this rocket ship. There we go. Get some space coins flowing your way. Anybody else? Anybody else want to get on the ship? So far we've got 2 people. Looks like our fuel is doing okay. Thank you guys for sending that back. Let's go ahead and fire this one off. Go back to the cockpit view. We enter our launch codes. And we are in flight. Nice. Very nice seeing that rocket fuel tick upward. Thank you, Nishat, for sending that rocket fuel back. And congrats on your first native asset token on Cardano. Hopefully the first of many. I think we'll see in the next 6 months or so, and especially after Goguen smart contracts are fully live after the next Alonzo hard fork, I think we'll really see native assets really come into their own. We'll see a whole lot more practical use of them. Right now, I think the only thing you can really do is kind of an NFT type of thing where you have to build the whole NFT ecosystem outside of Cardano. But once we have smart contracts, things are really going to take off. You do need dataless flight if you want to see the Spacecoins in your wallet. You can give me a regular dataless wallet receive address now and then upgrade to flight later to see it. So as long as you enter the same seed phrase in dataless flight that you did in dataless, you should be able to see the coins later, the Spacecoins later. Jojo, welcome to the chat. You are going to get on a new rocket here. Looks like we've got enough fuel to start loading up a new rocket. 1,000 Spacecoins heading your way. Johnny, I recognize you from the Blue Cheese Steakhouse group chat on Telegram. Thank you for staking with Blue Cheese Steakhouse. You are going to get some Spacecoins right now. Who is next? Who is next on the Blue Cheese Steakhouse JorManager Spacecoin rocket? That was really hard to say for some reason. Yep, that's true. Duck has said you don't have to get dataless flight. You could just wait for the next dataless 4.0 upgrade. My guess is that will be dropping in the next week or 2 weeks. We haven't had a chance to test it on the testnet yet, but my guess is they're going to put out a new node version next week, at least on testnet, and then maybe by mainnet the week after that. Hopefully we'll get a new node version. They've got a few bugs they wanted to clean up now that we have the Mary hard fork out and we have native asset tokens on the blockchain. Let's try and get another person on this rocket ship. Do we have another person that wants some Spacecoins? I'm going to step away just for a minute, take a break, hit the restroom. I will be right back. Oh, there's one address. Let's get this going. 6U2M4N. Let's get you on the Spacecoin rocket. And then I will take my break. Okay. How much ADA do I need? So how much ADA back? 2.2 ADA will cover what I sent you. So I sent you 2 ADA along with the Spacecoins. If you send me back 2.2 ADA, that covers what I sent you plus the transaction fees that I had to pay to get it to you. So that will keep the rocket flying. Okay, so let's get cockpit view, launch codes, and they are successful. And I'm going to step away for just a few minutes here. And thank you guys for sending that dust back. And we are back at mission control. Okay, looks like we have Kevin in the chat here. Let's get you on the next rocket. We are running low on fuel. Okay, I saw a little bit just come back. That's good. We're doing so-so on fuel. And we're about halfway through our Spacecoins. Okay. Awesome, Gary. Glad you see the Spacecoins in your ROI. So there's a question about are all the Blue Cheese Steakhouse pools mine, run by me? So they are all run by me. I am not the owner of like all the pledge and all of those pools. Question, what are your thoughts on pool farms? So in my opinion, you know, there is a limit to how many pools somebody should run. It's different for every operator. For me, you know, my situation is a little different. I'm trying to go full time with Cardano. I'm trying to get, I don't know how much I want to say about that. But yeah, nobody is currently using my own ticker for their own game. All of my pools start with the ticker 00 beef. So if you want to make sure the pool is mine, you can check the website, things like that. But yeah, I will not be running any additional pools beyond the ones I've got right now, as far as I know, unless things change. But yeah, right now I don't think anybody is like trying to take over the network or anything like that. Even some of the biggest pool farms, like 1%, are only, you know, at most around 5% of the overall network. I think there's a much more threat to the network from huge, big money coming in. So, you know, as we saw with Binance, they run a big chunk of the network. There were 14 pools spun up by some unknown group that is coming in. I think we will always have decentralization, but right now I think it's kind of up for grabs whether or not the small pool operators and community pools will even survive. And I include myself in that group. I know right now a lot of people consider me a large pool operator, but you know, when we have, if Grayscale comes in, or companies like Grayscale, if they come in with $100 million, they're not going to be most likely delegating to community pools. They're likely going to spin up their own pools, and that'll kind of continually take chunks away from community pools. So there will be a lot of competition. There will be a lot of attrition. And honestly, I'm fully prepared that my pool may not make it longer than 5 years unless, unless they radically change something, or somehow the big money doesn't come into the space like we all want it to. I mean, big money, he did not mean my salary with this funny duck. Yeah, so I do run more pools than most, but again, I'm in the United States, which is a very high cost of living, and I'm in a very high cost of living state of Oregon. So anything that I make, I have to send taxes. I'm taxed at like 40%. So anything I make, I immediately lose 40% of that to the state and federal government. At some point, I'd like to get out of the state of Oregon, but the price of ADA has to go up a little bit for that to be successful. And so, yeah, I am running, a few more pools, and I do have some partners So I don't run a pool farm in the sense that anybody on the internet can just say, hey, I want to be a pledge owner on your pool, and I say, sure thing. No, it's these are people I personally know that provide the pledge for my pools. So I have a personal relationship. In many cases, I sat down at my own kitchen table with them to set up the pools. So they are not just, I'm not really pool farming, they're more truly a partner with me in Blue Cheese Steakhouse. Is timing important when it comes to changing pools? No, it is not, actually. So if you switch from one pool to another, you will continue earning rewards from your old pool during the 2 epochs it takes to switch over to the new one. So there is no break in your rewards. But it is important to know, to keep an eye on data lists so you know which pool is giving you the rewards for which epoch. So let's say you're in a Blue Cheese Steakhouse pool right now and you switch over to Duck Pool, let's say. He's been helping us out. We'll give him a shout out. So let's say you switch from Blue Cheese Steakhouse to Duck. Your ADA helps him make blocks 2 epochs in the future. But during those 2 epochs, you get rewards from Blue Cheese Steakhouse for those 2 epochs until in that 3rd epoch, then your rewards will come from Duck Pool. So there's really no cost to you in switching pools. You only pay the 0.18 ADA of the transaction fee that it takes to switch. So yeah, there's no harm in switching. If there's a pool that you like what they're doing or support their mission, maybe they're a charity pool, you want to support their mission, like Grow Pool is a charity pool that we'll support here if we get some more ADA. But yeah, it costs you nothing to switch, and yeah. So if you like my pools, great. If you don't like my pools and want to support other operators, that's great too. I would suggest that you kind of stay away from, staking in a Binance pool or an eToro pool or anything like that, where it's they're not really helping out the network. And honestly, if you go with the individual pool operators, you're going to get a much better interaction with that operator. You're going to get much better feedback. You're going to know what's going on with the network. You're going to know what's coming up in Cardano. So you're going to have kind of that insider lane to know what's coming up. And if you're a trader, that's good, because you'll kind of be able to anticipate what the market's going to do. Because you'll know, like, hey, I know that this Alonzo hard fork is coming in the next couple weeks or a month or so. We don't know the exact date, but maybe now is a good time to buy in, because you know the price is going to pump before that. And then you're going to see all of these companies coming in with the catalyst funds that are going to be building smart contract type apps on top of Cardano. And that's really, the catalyst funds are the engine that's really going to keep things going with Cardano. That's why I view it as a long-term play in the space. Like, Cardano is never going to run out of new companies coming in, building on top of it, because we have that catalyst fund where we get to vote on what companies or what groups that we want to build something cool on top of Cardano. Duck, I did not know that you were a staker in Blue Cheese, but thank you for that at one point. Let me check the chat, see if there's anything else. Yeah, so Binance is a little shady, because yes, they allow you to stake on Binance, but for those that don't choose to stake and lock up their ADA on it, they're still taking your ADA and they're still staking it on your behalf, and they're stealing all of your rewards. So the best thing you can do is get a wallet like Daedalus or Yoroi, move your money off of an exchange into that wallet. I do recommend getting a hardware wallet like Trezor or Ledger, because that'll give you the most protection of your funds. Even if that device is destroyed or lost, you can still get your funds back by purchasing a new unit and loading up the funds on it again. That's kind of the best way, and that's kind of the ethos of cryptocurrency in general, is you should be in control of your funds, not some big faceless corporation. In the case of Binance, it's run by a Chinese company. So it's best for you to control that. Don't give them the ability to earn money off of what should be your rewards. Go and stake with community pools where you support the mission of them. Like in the case of Blue Cheese Steakhouse, our mission is creating software for the other stake pool operators in the Cardano community. I think we have around 90% or so of pools using some form of Blue Cheese Steakhouse software at this point. If you support that pool's mission vision, go for it. Stake to them. Even if you're in Blue Cheese today and you find some other pool you want to move to them, that's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm not greedy with the people who want to stake. I would just say, know the person personally. Make sure they're not some nameless, faceless person. Make sure they're a legit pool operator. Usually somebody who's willing to be somewhat public with their persona. Because then that adds to the trust factor for that stake pool op. Okay, it's been a while since we've had anybody. Let's get Kevin. He's been patiently waiting. Let's get his rocket fired off here. We haven't had too many addresses dropped in the chat. And Kevin, you are finally in flight. Kevin gets to go on his own rocket. And you are totally in flight. We'll keep it going. We'll do another 20 minutes here, and if nobody else joins us on the rocket ship, we'll close it down. But I'm kind of having fun answering your questions. Oh, looks like we just got another address in the chat. Futuri Studios. Welcome to the Spacecoin rocket. Let's get you on a rocket here. Okay, you are loaded on the rocket. Kevin is in flight. Yep, go ahead and retweet that Twitter tweet out there. Let's see if I can post a link to the tweet in the chat. Yep, get on that tweet and retweet that sucker. See if we can get a good last 10 minutes or so. Yeah, we've only got 12 retweets and one quote tweet. Let's reload this page, see what that quote tweet is. Oh, a lot of people dropping addresses in here. Yeah, I really don't want to encourage sending to people on Twitter, because then, like, for days and days and days, I get requests, and that just kind of causes me to lose focus, and I'm not able to code as well if I'm always getting replies to tweets like this. But let's see that quote tweet. Ah, that was for Frog. Nice, thank you, Kyle. Anybody else who wants to join the Spacecoin rocket? I'm going to go ahead and reply to that tweet. Yep, so hopefully we'll get some more people. Okay, looks like we've got Steven. Steven, let's get you on the rocket here. Spacecoins, address. Steven or Stefan, depending on where you're located in the world. I don't know how you pronounce that. Okay, you are on the rocket. Yeah, it's too hard to pay attention to both the YouTube chat and Twitter at the same time. So, got to put your address in the YouTube chat. Yes, Frog is the creator of the Spacecoin. So he created Spacecoin just as kind of a test. So he runs the Frog pool, and also Adoja is kind of one of his brands, where he's another developer. He does Internet of Things stuff. And as part of that, he is going to be using an Adoja coin where people can, the gas of his Internet of Things network is going to be the Adoja coin. So people can pay to run special Internet of Things code on his little, his devices. And so that Adoja token will be the fuel for that. And he created Spacecoins to kind of test things out on the mainnet to make sure things would work right. And then he just decided to send them out, see how things worked with that, and it kind of took off from there. And then we're having the whole crazy logo contest where you can earn some Spacecoins. Okay, let's get some more people on this rocket. We've got Utermice. Let's get you on this rocket. We should have enough fuel for this rocket. And let's get Dream Big. Let's get you on this rocket. Okay, we've got 4 people loaded so far. Thank you, Kevin, for sending that dust back. Much appreciated. 2.2 ADA refuels the rocket. So you can stake to multiple pools at a different time. You just cannot do it from the same wallet yet. So if you, for example, in Yoroi or Daedalus, if you create a new wallet, send some of your ADA to that new wallet, then you can stake again from that new wallet. But the downside is you have to keep track of, 2 sets of mnemonic phrases and all that. So it's a little trickier, but there are a lot of people that do stake to multiple pools by splitting their ADA up in that way. I have come across some whales that are so big that they do have to split their ADA into multiple pools, and they can spread it out across multiple pools that they kind of support their mission and vision. Because otherwise they would be what we call a killer whale, where they come in and they oversaturate a pool all by themselves, and then just completely tank the value of that pool. And then, so the killer whale comes in, boom, they drop their ADA on that pool, puts it over saturation, and then all the little delegators are like, I don't want to lose all my rewards from this, so they flee the pool, and so that's why we kind of call them a killer whale. We haven't had too much of that lately, as the education level in Cardano continues to tick up and people understand saturation. Right now the saturation rate is still 64 million ADA per pool, and it will be staying that way until probably the fall. And then we still don't know for sure what's going to happen to that. They will be changing the rewards formula. We don't know if they're going to keep saturation where it's at. Potentially, it's been rumored that they will raise the value of K, which determines the optimal number of saturated pools in the network. They will be raising that to 1,000, which would then put the saturation rate down closer to 32 million. And with blue cheese pools, I did split those pools in anticipation of K going to 1,000 when it was, the latest news I had when it was like a month out was it was going to 32 million. So I split the pools, and then I already had pledge partners lined up for those pools, and so I can't really unsplit them at this point. I've just got to kind of write it out until we do get to that higher, or I guess that lower level of saturation. So I know there's been other operators that have split their pools and then they unsplit them once the news came out. I'm not really able to do that at this time, just because of agreements I have in place with some of my partners. But in case, people call me out on Twitter or claim that I'm a bad actor, that's the reason why I haven't unsplit my pools, is because I really can't. I've signed agreements in place that I can't really do that. I was kind of bummed that IOG didn't confirm whether K was going to 1,000 earlier. We're running real businesses here, and we have to make real business decisions, and you need time for people to be able to move over to pools, and they just weren't giving us that, so I had to make a business call on that. But yeah, I have no plans to go beyond the number of pools I've got right now. Okay, let me check if there are any questions in the chat. Yeah, so Spacecoins is currently a fixed supply. There are 50 million Spacecoins, I believe. Although they are not completely fixed, as Kyle in theory could mint more of them, but he's a pretty trustworthy guy. I don't think he plans to do that. Yeah, Spacecoins is extremely secure because it runs on top of Cardano and our extended UTXO model. So it automatically gets all of the security of Cardano. There's no smart contract to hack because it's a native asset token. It runs natively on the blockchain without requiring any smart contract. And so it is very secure. Can we get one more person in the chat? Let's get this final rocket loaded up fully if we can. Or actually, this will put us exactly at 50,000. Why don't we call it here? This will be the last rocket we send out. That way we have more to send out next week. And it is flying. Okay, Peter just joined. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get Peter. We'll go ahead and get Peter on it. Cardano 24, that's Holger. Hey, buddy. Yep, I am still live. Drop an address in here. I'll get you some Spacecoins. Holger is also another pool operator. Yep, we'll do one more rocket here for some of you guys. Okay, let's get Peter. Thank you for delegating to Blue Cheese Steakhouse. I recognize you from the chat. And let's yeah, Holger, go ahead and drop an address in the chat, because I need to send you some more since you're a pool operator. Let's get you some Spacecoins. And Duck, if you drop an address in the chat too, I don't know if you've been given a little bit more so you can help distribute them. Drop an address in the chat here too. Okay, so let's get Correct Crypto in here. You're on the rocket. Yeah, Duck and Holger, go ahead and drop me an address in here so we can get you in the chat. Okay. Awesome. I see your address, Holger. Let's get you in here. Send you some Spacecoins. I'm going to send you a bunch, and I expect you to distribute them to others. So we're going to give you 10,000. Duck, let's get you on here as well, if you can. We want to have other people be able to do live streams like this and be able to get them distributed to the world. So we want to make Spacecoins like first. Okay, hey, you're going to be able to create a pool using JorManager. Okay, yeah, I've sent you some already, but if you're going to be a pool op, let's get you some more so you can help send them out. So I sent you 1,000 already. Let's send you 9,000. We're going to burn through the rest of our Spacecoins here. Now grant artists. Let's get you on this rocket. Okay. Oh, okay, so Duck, you've already got it back from Kyle. Awesome. Sounds good. Looks like we've got some people ready to go. Let's send the rest to Holger so he can have a bigger giveaway. I think he was this one here. So everybody check out Holger and his pools. And let's see what we have left. Oh wow, that's a huge amount of Spacecoins we have left. Let's just go down to 50,000. Let's see here. Yep, we'll end ourselves with 30, so we'll have plenty for the next giveaway. And we will get it launched. Okay, everybody is on board. The final rocket ship here. We are ready for launch. Actually, let's give a little bit more. Wait, that's not right. There we go. Yeah, let's go. There we go. This will be good. You pool ops can have more to send out to others. Let's get this rocket flying. Ticker ACA, Cardano Crypto. Yeah, go ahead and hit me up. Hit me up on Telegram if you're a stake pool op, and I'll try and get you some. Or you can hit up Kyle if you want to do a similar giveaway. hit up myself or Kyle. We've got some more that you can do your own giveaway thing. But I'm going to get this one flying here and we'll finish the stream. Transaction succeeded. Make sure you send me back some dust to the address in the video description. 2.2 ADA. Looks like we lost a fair amount with this one, so we will not have enough to do a Save the Children giveaway. Looks like I lost about half my ADA, but that's okay. We had a whole lot of fun. We gave away a lot of Spacecoin. And anytime after the chat, if you want to send the dust back to that address, it's still good. Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're pretty low on rocket fuel. But yeah, if you did receive ADA from me as part of getting those Spacecoins, go ahead and send it back to that address so that we can do future giveaways. I will be signing off for now. But again, if you're watching this video on replay and you want to support the mission of Spacecoins, anytime you want to, you can drop some ADA into that address here, and it's also in the video description. Thanks all, and have a great day.